Ready? Okay. Guys, this is, can you believe it? It's the 1st of March. And I have these beautiful plants out here because this is what I think depicts March here in Zone 6, Western West Virginia. You're watching Gardening on the West Fork. And look at this beautiful amaryllis. Just bloomed starting this past weekend when I was out of town, and it is gorgeous. It's very wintry. And then we have this beautiful Hellebore. I have those in the garden. I'll show you what they're like their first year. But I was with my sister. We got to go see Dua. And I picked this up at a Trader's Joe. You know, you live here in Weston, we don't have a Trader Joe's. And so I picked this up because it was too pretty to not. But look at this. This is March. You have winter and spring. And it's going to be winter and spring all through March, sometimes April. And Reggie, cut this out for me. This says it best. This little saying came out of Better Homes and Garden.
Yep.
And it says, now say this to yourself 5 times and believe it. This is March. The main thing to do in March is to don't, which means don't get a hurry, don't get excited, like it's 60 degrees today, and you want to do everything, but we're not going to do it all. We're just going to take a walk through the garden and see what's coming up and get excited because on this pretty day, you can see, for example, you can see how the willow tree is looking very yellow, ready to pop out. It's one of the first trees to pop out. The sarvis tree actually is the first, and then the willow will pop out. I don't have an example of the sarvis tree, but let me show you what I haven't done. I'm not going to do. Last year I killed all of my boxwoods. I have a video on that, and you can look back on it. But they started growing and showing growth, and March was beautiful, and I went ahead and groomed them, and then we got these cold spells through April and the end of 1st of May that just froze them and they died. So I used wilt stop on these this year, and they're still green and gorgeous, and we've had winter up until just this week. You know, teens at night and wind and snow just melted off. So I'm not going to get in a hurry to do that. I've also kept them watered. All my pots, at least once a week, I kept them watered. I stick my finger in now that it's thawed out. They're still a little moist. And these I won't touch until later on when I know that that chance of severe wind and cold will not be killing them. It looks like the PG is doing okay. I'm not going to fool with it. I don't see any buds coming out yet, which is normal. I mean, this is the first 60-degree day. This is March 1st. We have had really wintry weather, so we're not going to fool with that. I need to, I'm going to be doing another little video on, I need to be pruning. This is my Draper blueberry, and you can see all of this growth in here that needs to come off. You can see some dead. It's all the dead, the crossing, the diseased. So we need to be doing that. And this pot I've kept, I've kept watered. But look, you can see the lilac. This is I have 4 deciduous trees. I have the big willow, I have the hairy louder walking stick, the lace leaf maple, and then I've tree formed this lilac. And it's blooming. You do not prune this till after your flowering shrubs flower. And I don't know, how many springs I throw I don't know. That's a hard one to get to bloom because we have so many frosts and freezes here, April and May. But down here in this little garden, we're just doing the sunniest first day of March garden tour. So down here, I did do a couple jugs of larkspur, and this is the sunniest spot right now. I don't see any. Oh, I might see one little green sprout. I don't think you can see that one little green spot in there. Clear in the center, there's a green spot, maybe. Anyhow, if it comes up, it'll be better in a few days. We're supposed to have 60-degree days. Oh, maybe in this one too. So this will be exciting. I can show you on another video. But the primroses are looking really thick and great. I'll do a little trimming up of them. You can see daffodils right here coming up. Here's my first year of my hellebores. And so I didn't expect them to bloom. This is typical to have a little shaggy leaf. But the one that I showed you is how it could look. So we're going to go down here. These have all survived nicely in their pots. Those are those, hardy succulents, thanks to Jim. But what I'm going to do over here, and this is my tower elderberry. And you can see some new growth coming out on it. I'm happy with that. And it's supposed to get a real pretty pink bloom. My black tower elderberry. It should be, nice and formed nicely here. Oh, daffodils coming up. But this rose, this is my iceberg rose. And this is the time of year I need to do a video on how to prune roses, but this is the time of year where you can see how leggy it is. You just want lateral branches, a lot to clean out. Not that much to clean out, but we'll get that done. That'll be probably a video all of its own. Get to the other climbing rose, which is my, it'll come to me. But I've gotten that deciduous tree done. And so when you look at your gardens, like, I have my gardens into 6 zones for weeding, and I'm starting to weed this week because it's so nice out. Weed and edge. And I would suggest again that you set up your zones. That way you're not overwhelmed. This is, in this large bed, that's 3 zones. The shade tree is 4, 5, and then these terraced areas are 6. But now that I have the cutting garden, that may be number 7. The pond, look at this, Reg. If it's not frozen, this is the first day it's not been frozen. So I'll get that cleaned off maybe this week. Pull the screen off since I've gotten all the leaves off of the maple, raked it, and then I'll pull the netting off so it doesn't get into the pond. We'll turn it on, give us some nice background noise. You can see in here too, these are my autumn sedum. Autumn sedum joy. Autumn joy. They're almost ready to be cut back. So I'll probably cut that back this week, give them a little more growth. You can see, daffodils. Where am I? I saw some. Tulips. Where did I see that coming up? Nah. Oh, here's daffodils coming up.
Maybe here.
Oh, this bed has some tulips. Oh, here we go. I can see the start. I can't remember what tulips I have in here. I'm so glad to see them come up. This will be their second or third. This will be their third spring. So I'm excited about that they're coming up. These are, you think I'd remember what everything is. And I take photographs, but I forget what I've planted, what I haven't. Oh, here's daffodils. These are those white, I can't think of their names. It doesn't matter. We're just taking a look to see what's coming on. And yeah, I mean, Midge, she has brought moles and bowls up to us. She likes to dig things out. But you can see that this is getting ready. I can trim this back here in a little longer. All the new growth. This is some catmint, maybe. Yep, I think that's what that is. But the grasses will get cut back. I'm going to give, I'm not going to get in a hurry. Give a couple more weeks, do little by little. Like I said, take each part of the garden. We've got a stack of rocks, and then tomorrow we're going to head out, putting that out on social media. My sister gave me another trunk full of rock. I'm looking for bigger ones, and then I have a friend in a near county, and I think we're going to take a road trip tomorrow. Maybe she'll let me video her rock pile. I won't show you where she lives. That's not nice, but it's going to be a nice trip. This is all coming out. Daffodils coming up. Daffodils. Oh, good. These daffodils are up. This has all happened in the last 2 or 3 days with this 50 and 60 degree weather. And it feels so good. But it's just a matter of getting out there now and looking at things. Yeah, March is also the time that we'll throw some fertilizer down. Always use organic on the grass since we're so close to the river. We'll get organic on the grass. We'll throw some slow release fertilizer on the perennial beds for the shrubs, the trees. Another rose back here This is my Zephyrin Druin, and it needs some attention. Not much. Just cleaning things up. Get things cleaned up, weeded, edged, raked. I have daffodils I had planted over here. Are they coming up? This will be the first year for them. Oh, here's one. We'll see. I'm certain. I'm going to leave my pots covered for a while too, because it is the 1st of March and I don't want a lot of rain or snow, particularly in my concrete bird bath over there, to freeze and thaw and maybe crack it. But back in here there are 2 plants in here. This is my compost pile, and that probably is still frozen, truth be told. Nope, it's thawed out too. It needs to be turned. Compost that'll go on this is compost I can use. Compost there. But this is an arborvitae fern, and it's looking really healthy. It will come out and get planted, but I'm going to wait on that too. I'm not going to plant anything for a couple of weeks and see the extended forecast. This week looks good, next week, but the nights are cold. This is a Rudbeckia, and it's going to stay in the pot until it warms up. It's an all yellow one, and I'll put a picture up of what that one looks like. So you can see that the garlic looks great. This is my cut garden area, and I've got bulbs to put in there, but I have some seeds to start. And last year, because it was really my first year to start some seeds, I started them a little too soon. They got leggy. I lost some because of, gardener error. So this year my seeds won't get started probably till the end of March, and I've got myself signed up for a class in Buchanan taught by a woman who is a cut flower gardener, and so I'm hoping she'll let me maybe interview her and show you what's happening over there. But when you're there, you're leaving with seeds and potted plants, so this will be a fun day. That's several days away, the 1st of April. So anyhow, I'll put compost here. I'll get some seeds started, put some bulbs in there. But this looks good. Everything looks pretty neat and clean. Not a lot of weeds here. So it's so nice to see it defrosted and there isn't any snow. The little tips of daffodils. This week we could see a lot of growth. So what you're looking at is the March garden, and the excitement you can feel when you're out in your gardens and the projects that we get to do now. So I think we're going to be outside more than we're inside. Anyhow, that is your Gardening on the West Fork, March 1st, 2022. And subscribe and hit the bell because there'll be a lot happening. We'll see you the next time. Bye.